Cardano, the project that elicits some pretty strong opinions in the crypto community, from passionate adherents to die-hard detractors. So, finding middle ground in this environment can indeed be tough. So, I want to try and make some sense of it with my completely impartial take. My name is Guy, and in this video I'm going to be doing an update on Cardano. I looked at it first 6 months ago, and since then, a lot has happened. Is the project still worth considering? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to try and find out. So be sure to watch till the very end if you want my personal take. Before I roll into the update, a few things. Firstly, as always, this is nothing but an educational resource. It should not be construed as investment advice in any way, shape or form. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, a very good day to you. I highly suggest tapping up that subscribe button and pinging that bell. You'll want to get these videos the moment they hit the tube. Okay, enough with the teasing. Let's dive into the video. Let's start with the first and most relevant update to come out of Cardano, and that is their Hydra publication. No, this isn't the project's plan to defeat Iron Man, Thor and Captain America. It's Cardano's scaling solution for its proof-of-stake consensus, which, according to the documentation, can handle in excess of 1 million transactions per second. And no, that was not a mistake. You heard me right. 1 million transactions per second. According to Charles Hoskinson, the Hydra solution could potentially process over 1 million transactions every second. The intention here is to gradually scale the proof-of-stake consensus as the project continues to gain users. Okay, now call me a skeptic, but I'm keeping an open mind. According to Charles, through the Hydra solution, stake pool heads can handle up to 1,000 transactions per second. As more heads are added, performance scales accordingly. So, with some simple maths, you can see that with 1,000 heads at 1,000 transactions per second, you're looking at 1 million transactions every second. A rough analogy to explain this Hydra solution would be BitTorrent. While the technology behind the two is different, the basic concept is similar. The idea is that as more people share the information, the faster the information can be accessed by everyone. Even though we're still in the early stages of realizing this vision, anyone can access the paper and read it for themselves. What's really nice about the Hydra solution is that it sits neatly on top of Cardano's existing Ouroboros consensus mechanism. What's Ouroboros, you ask? Well, it's the Cardano proof-of-stake algorithm. It's a hard fork of the Byzantine fault tolerance, which is a stepping stone toward making Cardano entirely proof-of-stake. If you want a more in-depth explanation of it, then I encourage you to watch the complete review I did last year, and you can find that right here. Anyways, this allows the project to move from its current consensus protocol to the protocol that will be used to power the Shelley mainnet. You can actually experience it now if you're part of the incentivized testnet, which we'll talk about more in a little bit. So why should you care about the Cardano Hydra solution? Well, for starters, 1 million transactions per second is pretty mind-blowing. Of course, you should know that this is all in theory, which is often different from practice. However, if it is only a fraction of that, then Hydra could solve the scalability issue that plagues so many other blockchains. Plus, Cardano plans on interoperability with solutions such as the Lightning Network, which means at some point users will be able to support payment systems. This is an effort that's 5 years in the making, so it's clear to see why Hoskinson and Cardano are so excited about it. Plus, the work can be implemented in parallel to the work being done on Shelley, so it won't interfere with planned updates. So that's one plus in the Cardano corner. Alright, next up on the list of Cardano updates is its Byron Reboot. The Byron update is a mainnet upgrade on the Cardano network. This update will aid in the transition over to the Shelley release. More on that in a bit. Hoskinson announced via video that once the Byron Reboot is complete, the project will move quickly towards the Shelley mainnet. The primary purpose of the reboot is to add in the wallet backend integration for the Haskell mainnet release. The update will also include fast sync functionality, which allows users to sync their blockchains quickly. Hoskinson says that internal testing suggests that this type of feature can sync a blockchain in under an hour. Basically, Hoskinson is saying that you can download the entire history of the Cardano blockchain in less than 60 minutes. By comparison, there have been some reports that it can take several days to sync the Bitcoin core blockchain. There are also some new user interface features that will be included in the reboot, but Hoskinson did not mention anything specific, so we're left to wonder on that. Anyways, this brings us on to one of the most touted and delayed releases on Cardano, and that is Shelley. The Haskell Shelley mainnet launch is expected to be announced soon. But before we get into the when of the Shelley launch, let's talk about what it is. The long-awaited Shelley release is an update to the Cardano platform that will give users the ability to stake their ADA. This update will move the project from a centralized and federated network to a completely decentralized one. That means users can take part in network consensus, either by staking their ADA or running their own stake pool if they want. Based on current projections, the staking return is estimated to be about 10% per year, which is pretty reasonable. If you want to see how much you'll earn by staking or running a staking pool, check out the Cardano calculator. I've provided a link below for you. Another exciting piece of the Shelley launch is Ouroboros Genesis. We touched on this briefly earlier, but I want to dig a little deeper into this so you have a better understanding of what Genesis will have to offer. With the launch of Shelley, Cardano participants will be able to bootstrap from the Genesis blockchain. So, participants will have the ability to join the blockchain and sync from the Genesis block, which is the first trusted block on the Cardano blockchain. Why is this important? Well, it makes the blockchain more secure. Most other proof-of-stake systems only sync a portion of the chain. As exciting as all this is, there are two things upon which the launch announcements hinge. First is the completion of the Byron update, which should be sooner rather than later. This was a foreseen hurdle for the project, something that Hoskinson and his team fully expected. The second, however, is more of a wildcard, something that all of us are dealing with. Hoskinson has made it clear that COVID-19 is not impacting how the project moves forward, but the reality is that without being able to gather in one place, the excitement of the launch will be somewhat tempered. That's not to say that Cardano won't move forward when Shelley is ready. It's simply to say that the location, date, and time of the announcement may be impacted by the virus. So, Corona seems to be spoiling everyone's party, including those of decentralized open source projects. It'll be interesting to see if Cardano can really keep stuck to the Shelley timeline in the face of all of this. But let's move on from the expected announcement and discuss how the Shelley launch will impact Cardano and the crypto landscape as a whole. For starters, Cardano's proof-of-stake network aims to significantly lower the point of entry barriers that exist with other digital coins. Think of Bitcoin, for example. Mining Bitcoin has been a corporate game for a while now. It's nearly impossible to mine without a large amount of power backing your operation, along with the expenses that come with powerful rigs and ASIC miners. As a result, instead of becoming more decentralized, Bitcoin mining is winding up in the hands of fewer and fewer people. This will be even more noticeable when mining rewards halve a bit later. Cardano, on the other hand, wants to make it much easier to run a staking pool. With proof of stake, electricity and processing power are secondary. Minimal requirements are needed, as pointed out by the IOHK. All you need is 4 GB of RAM, an IP4 address, and 1 GB of bandwidth. So, if you're watching this video, the chances are that you'll be in a position to run a Cardano staking pool, if you wanted. Another way Shelley may impact Cardano is through the potential listing of ADA on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro. In fact, back in 2018, Coinbase said they are considering listing all of these cryptos. Given that all of the others over here have been listed, does this mean that ADA is still on the cards? Could a fully decentralized Cardano network be the remaining criteria that must be met before listing? No one really knows, to be honest. However, we do know that if such a listing does come, it could be a boon for ADA. It's one of the most popular places for those new to the community to begin, which would serve to provide more visibility for Cardano. Okay, so it sounds pretty exciting, but what is required from current Cardano users? Once Shelley launches, you'll notice an update to your wallets. Whether you use the Daedalus desktop wallet or the Yoroi web wallet to store your Cardano, both will go through an update so you can choose your staking pool and stake your ADA. Currently, Cardano is allowing users to access incentivized test wallets to try out staking their ADA. If this is something you think you might be interested in doing, I've included a few links below to get you started. However, it's important to note that if you weren't holding your ADA in either Daedalus or Yoroi when the testnet began, you won't be able to participate in the incentivized wallet. If you're familiar with staking, then getting started with these wallets won't be a problem for you. For those that need a little more info, follow the directions in the wallet to get your ADA moved from your old Daedalus wallet into the test wallet. Once that is accomplished, you can stake your coins. This will be different whether you're staking in Daedalus or Yoroi, but both wallets let you view the staking pool options available to you. You can click on different pools to see details about them. Once you've chosen one you like, delegate your coins, then start receiving those staking returns. One thing to remember is that you have to wait until 2 epochs complete before you can begin earning rewards. What the hell is that, you ask? Well, an epoch is a 24-hour period, but that doesn't mean you'll wait 2 full days before you start earning. Depending on the time of day you start staking your coins, you might only have to wait 1 full day and a few hours. The epoch resets every day at the same time. You can see the amount of time remaining in the epoch in the test wallet. New features are being added to the wallet on a regular basis, so if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest test wallet news, check out the link in the description below. Last on our agenda for the day is how these updates are impacting the relationships Cardano is forming with other companies. To grow adoption, it's important to form partnerships, which is exactly what Cardano is trying to do. Here are a few you can expect to hear more about. For starters, Cardano has partnered with the National Agency of Project Management of Uzbekistan. Technically, the partnership was formed with Emergo, which is Cardano's commercialization arm. These two are working together and formed, quote, a strategic blockchain task force to usher in an era of digital commerce in Uzbekistan. The primary focus of the partnership is to create a legal structure for providing security token offerings and exchanges within the country. In addition to many other services, Emergo will provide consulting to the Uzbekistan government, focusing on specific projects or industries which will use blockchain technology. An example of one such industry is agriculture, which is a large part of Uzbekistan's economy. 33% of the workforce and 28% of the country's GDP come from agriculture. One way Cardano can add value to this sector is by bundling its payment system with a supply chain system. By implementing blockchain into this industry, the country can know if the growers and farmers are using sustainable practices, what types of GMOs or pesticides are being used on crops, and where the products have been throughout the entire supply chain process. Now, another partnership that Cardano has entered into is with PricewaterhouseCoopers. PwC is aiding Cardano by supporting the project on the commercial side to drive interest and adoption of the platform. According to Hoskinson, this will be done through a strategy for the commercialization of Cardano's technology. So it's a specific effort by both companies to ensure that they're offering real-life use cases as a means of turning that interest into useful products on the market. So, as you can see, Cardano is doing its due diligence on the partnership front as it moves towards its Shelley launch. But what about after? Where is Cardano headed for the remainder of 2020 and beyond? I'm so glad you asked. One of Cardano's focuses for 2020, aside from the Shelley launch, is a brand refresh. The end goal of this refresh is to create a brand that aligns more effectively with the objectives and mission of the Cardano project. McCann Dublin, the agency chosen to perform this refresh, will analyse the existing brand, then begin to create a redesign that is more in keeping with the brand's value proposition and essence. This is an effort to drive Cardano adoption while making the project future-proof. Brand is a key factor in growth, and as more blockchain projects enter the marketplace, Cardano wants to do everything it can to set itself apart. But don't forget that even after the Shelley launch and the Cardano rebrand, the project is only in its second phase. What else does Cardano have in store for us? I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of this video, Paxful. Paxful is one of the easiest and coolest ways I've found to buy or sell Bitcoin instantly. Paxful is a peer-to-peer marketplace with over 300 payment methods. This includes some truly crazy options like gift cards for World of Warcraft and Amazon, to cash in the mail, or even phone top-up cards. Over 100 e-wallets are also supported, including the likes of PayPal and WeChat Pay. To get started on Paxful today, go through the link in the description. Then simply select the payment method you want. Scroll through the marketplace, identify trusted Bitcoin sellers by looking at their reputation score, and select the deal you want. Finally, key in the amount of Bitcoin you want to buy, and you're done. So, if you've had trouble with limited payment methods on crypto exchanges, then you should definitely check out Paxful. After all, 3 million users can't be wrong. Now, back to the magic. The three phases remaining after Shelley for the Cardano project are Goguen, Basho, and Voltaire. While there are no dates set for these phases, they are important parts of the Cardano project. For example, Goguen is going to bring about the ability to build decentralized applications on top of the already existing platform. It will also give users a way to create and execute smart contracts while also bringing about a multi-currency ledger. Additionally, Goguen will seek to support both fungible and non-fungible assets, which will allow for the creation of new tokens within Cardano. This, in turn, will provide ways for users to tokenize assets from a wide variety of cryptocurrencies. With the support of non-fungible assets, Cardano opens itself up for a whole world of trade beyond digital currencies. These assets will reside in digital format on the Cardano platform, but will have values independent of the ADA coin itself. A potential opportunity here could be providing loans through the network. Users could offer financial assistance in exchange for an NFT as collateral. That means if the borrower didn't make payments as agreed upon, the lender would then have a legal right to the collateral provided. Oh, and a quick side note, if you wanted some more information on non-fungible tokens, then I encourage you to check out my video on that right over here. Bam! Anyways, where Goguen will focus on features, Basho will focus on functionality. This era of the Cardano evolution will give its attention to improving scalability and optimization. This will come in the form of developments like sidechains, which allow new blockchains to work alongside the Cardano blockchain. The final piece of Cardano is Voltaire, which Cardano expects to be the phase that makes the entire system self-sustaining. A treasury and voting system will be created to determine and fund future development and features. It's at this point IOHK is expected to turn over Cardano to the community, along with the tools necessary to continue to grow and evolve the project. That's as much as the updates go, but now it's only fitting that I give my thoughts on it. Well, it all sounds great on paper, and don't get me wrong, I'm cautiously optimistic. However, it's no secret that the pace of the project makes a snail look like a rocket-powered race car. Take this Shelley launch as an example. Hoskinson stated in January of 2019 that the Mainnet launch was just a few months away. It's been over a year now, and we're still waiting for it. While it's important to be thorough, it's also imperative that a project hits its deadlines. Otherwise, it's going to lose users and investors who grow weary of constant delays. Also, this has no doubt been weighing on the price of ADA. While there was a bit of a rally against Bitcoin in January, this started petering out in mid-February and sold off aggressively after that. In fact, it started selling off even before the mass altcoin dump caused by the coronavirus. Could the release of Shelley lead to a much-needed bump in price? Well, one would hope so. Let's not forget that there's also the possibility of a Coinbase Pro listing down the line. Of course, this will depend on the eventual form of Shelley, but it is something to hold on to. Also, Shelley will be introducing staking on the Cardano network. If staking returns are attractive for users, then there's likely to be an increased demand for ADA. And of course, those that are staking will get a bit of a return lift from the rewards. And if Shelley is released, there are a host of other updates to look forward to after that. Functionality like dApp development, non-fungible token issuance, as well as that pretty mind-blowing Hydra proposal. So yes, I am willing to give Cardano the benefit of the doubt. They've taken an eternity to get to this stage, but I feel we could be on the cusp. Of course, there is a non-zero chance that I could stand here in 6 months' time and give you another update on a delayed Shelley launch. Coronavirus is indeed throwing a spanner in the works. I hope that doesn't happen though, and I'll be keeping my eyes on the project and my ears to the ground. And that, my fellow crypto fans, is my update on Cardano. Yet I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on Cardano? Is this a fair review? Hit me up below. And of course, if this video is helpful, then share the love. Hit up that like button and don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss what I've got cooking in the crypto kitchen. I hope you liked that video as much as I enjoyed making it. But truth be told, I just couldn't fit everything in that I wanted to. But if you subscribe to my weekly newsletter, then you can get all those tidbits and a whole bunch of other juicy nuggets of wisdom. Keen? It's actually pretty damn simple. All you need to do is ping over your email in the sign up form below. Oh, and I hate spam more than anyone, so you sure won't be getting any from me. Hope you guys enjoy the next email.